Okay, real quick, we're going to talk about the new DROP-CRE8 Analog Expansion 1 pack, which is only $11.99. And it basically adds some content to the free player, which had no content. And this content is all analog style samples that are taken from our poly instrument. And we'll just kind of walk through and kind of show you what's new. So the biggest difference is the original free instrument, DROP-CRE8, had two layers, layer 1 and layer 2. Layer 1 was the sample drag and drop layer, and layer 2 was the granular drag and drop layer. So layer 3 is what's new with the Analog Expansion 1. And it's not a drag and drop layer, but this is where all the new content is. And you can now layer all 3 layers if you wanted to. So you still have your drag and drop layers. So there is a fair amount of content, but there's only a handful of patches. They're just starter patches to kind of get you going. So we'll kind of just quickly go through the patches. So the first one, which I have loaded up, is the ARP chordal template. So let's go to the ARP page. So the ARP can have 8 patterns, and the 8 patterns can be triggered with these buttons over here or with these blue keys. I can trigger them. So what's cool is you can trigger them in real time as you play, and they stay in sync with your host. So you get the idea how that works. So let's go to the synth page, which on this is EXP1 for Expansion 1, and this is where you can see all the content. So here's all the content that comes with it, and you can just change it and make kind of your own new sounds. So I won't kind of go into that for every patch, but we'll quickly finish what the rest of these patches are. So we have another just kind of softer arpeggiator kind of template patch. And so there's basically just a little more attack to it to make it softer. Then we have another one more arpeggiation that similar to the first one. And again, every time I load a patch, it shows me layer 1, which I have bypassed layer 1 and layer 2. But if you wanted to turn on the layers, you just unbypass them and drop your own samples in. Okay, so the 4th patch is just set up to be more of just a straight synthy keys kind of patch. And I believe it's also kind of velocity sensitive. Let me play. Yeah, so the harder you play, the more it opens the filter. Then set up a handful of pads that have a lot of motion to them. So if you're not familiar with how to make some of the motion, I set up a few templates for you. And then so what's so cool about this instrument is this motion knob here. So as I turn it to the left, the motion just kind of dies down to almost a pad. And then you can just dial it back in. So I did a couple of pads templates just to kind of get you going. So this one, simple, doesn't really have any motion. But again, this is all the new content you're hearing. Okay, so here's another one with the volume pumping a lot. Again, the motion knob. Okay, and this one, it's basically the last one. It's just more of a step filter kind of thing. And again, the motion knob works. So let me show you So here's a step filter. Okay, So that's a quick walkthrough of the new Analog Expansion 1 pack.